The Knicks just finished playing the Miami Heat and winning by the score of 98-100. And Chris and I are here to break down the game. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel and Chris from Knicks Digest. And you know what? We're gonna get right into the video. We're going right into it. Yo, Chris, we just got finished watching a really, really good game. Somewhat, in some aspects, from my personal opinion, a disappointing game. But we'll get to that later. But yo, Chris, what'd you think about the game, man? What'd you think about the W?
Bro, honestly, I am so happy right now. The Knicks got away with one. There were certainly problems in the game, but this was the most satisfying win of the season. Obviously, we know how I feel about the in-season tournament. I think it's kind of stupid. I don't see the point. However, it made the Knicks play hard. I don't know if it was the in-season tournament or just the rivalry creating that playoff atmosphere that was in New York tonight. But that was an awesome game. It was close. It was getting personal. RJ Barrett stepped up. Emmanuel
Facts.
quickly stepped up. Jalen
Facts.
Brunson was disgusting. It was a tremendous win. I know there were problems, but that was the most satisfying win of the New York Knicks season.
So I hate to rain on your parade. I hate to rain on your parade, but one of us we gotta play devil's advocate, if you will. So
Sure.
I'll play devil's advocate. So as far as how they played in the third quarter was god awful. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the energy being down, the body language being down, turning the ball over almost in every single possession, throwing the ball into the stands. Like, it's like they kind of forgot how to play basketball, which I don't know why the hell that happened.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, the first half, I think the Knicks went into halftime leading by one, and like, so it's not like they had a bad half. But then, like, to start the third quarter, it was just like, what happened to you guys? It was like the Monstars from Space Jam. They took all the skills from all the NBA talent. Like, yo, I was watching the screen and I was like, what is happening? Like, these guys don't know how to play basketball anymore. And I mean, like, I don't really know how to gauge it because, like, yeah, it's a good win. It was a scrappy win. They came all the way back from, I think, 21 down was the biggest margin. And they got the W, but it's like we should have never been there in the first place. And I also want to point out, did you notice how Julius Randle was nowhere to be seen when the comeback was happening? Like, I get it, like the bench was the main part as far as bringing the team back, but Jalen Brunson also had a really big part in bringing them back. RJ Barrett had a big part in bringing them back. Two starters, Julius Randle being the third head of the three-headed monster, if you will. Where the hell
Mhm.
are you, bro? You're not even a part of the comeback at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. He wasn't. And something that I've said a few times and just that I truly believe about the Knicks is that Brunson, Barrett, and Randall don't work ideally together. It's just they're all lefties. They all want to score close to the basket. It's not the most fluid or trio in the league by far. They're really similar. And I've said for a while, I think if someone should be the odd man out, I think it should be Julius Randle. But I don't want to get into a big trade Randall thing right now. Personally, I do see what you mean, though. It has to be acknowledged.
No, yeah, I'm not.
I
I'm
am a
not.
fan of Julius Randle's game.
I'm not trying to start the trade Julius Randle train. I'm not at all. I'm just pointing out stuff that, like, I'm keeping an eye on. It's like you're one of, if not the leader on the team, and you're not really a part of the comeback. Like, that's just something where it's just like it's the feeling of it. I don't like the feeling of it. And before we move on to, like, the rest of the game, dude, I wanna highlight something you said in one of, like, the earlier videos that we did. You said that one of the biggest detriments to Julius Randle's game is that he's a ball stopper, and that
Yes.
it reminded you of Melo when Melo was with the Knicks, and that was the biggest gripe that people had with him, that he stopped the ball. Well, I was thinking about this during our off day, and I was just thinking about how Melo's season, I think it was 2012, 2013, where they had Jason Kidd, Kurt Thomas, Marcus Camby, Kenya Martin.
Yes.
They had, like, the super veteran team, J.R.
Mhm.
Smith, Iman Shumpert, and they made it to the second round of the playoffs. And I remember watching a game on TNT on a Thursday night. I think it was the Knicks versus the Cavaliers. I don't know. It was one team. But Kenny the Jet Smith at halftime, he broke Melo's game down. And what he said was, I'm gonna tie it into Julius Randle, obviously.
Of
But
course.
what he said was Melo at the time was doing the same exact thing that he always has done, but the only difference is he's making his decisions a lot more quicker. So he's
Mhm.
still catching the ball in the mid post. He's still facing up. He's still doing that jab step, but everything is just a lot more quicker. And I don't know, that thought came into my mind, and I was like, that I think that's the answer for Julius Randle. Julius Randle, I think he needs to just keep doing what you're doing, but he just needs to do it a lot more faster. Like, just do everything you're doing. Get the ball in the post, or when you get the rebound, push it as hard as you can. Like, everything needs to be a little bit more faster just to get the fluidity of the offense going a little bit more.
That makes sense. I agree. I think that's something that Randall should work on. And something to note is that he didn't necessarily have a bad game. He only had 13 points, but he led the team in rebounding, tied with Josh Hart. He led the team in assists with 7. No one had more than 4. Josh Hart, the only player with 4. So Randall's playing. This is sort of a more heads-up Randall than we've ever seen. Does he still need to make decisions quicker? Absolutely. But I feel like we're getting somewhere with this, and I like that Julius is shooting the ball less. I'm not saying this anti-Julius. I'm saying this as someone who's very pro-Julius Randle. The best version of him is taking the third most shots on the team, where he's being a point forward, because he's really a great passer for a power forward. And I like this role for him, where he's moving in transition, where he's making quick plays. I think that's how the Knicks succeed. And if Randle can do that, he did a version of that tonight, but it's not where he needs to be in order for this to fully work. Though I do like that we're sort of seeing a growth towards that.
Just watching Miami's dominance in the third quarter, like the ball's moving, like everything they were throwing up was going in the rim, the back cuts, the pick and rolls, the pick and pops, like everything was just flowing for them in the third quarter. And I just started like picturing the Knicks, just the team, the New York Knicks team and the Miami Heat team. I think it's fair to say that the Knicks have more talent on their team. I'm not saying they're a better team, but I'm saying they have more talent. But what Miami tends to do season after season after season is get the most production out of the team that they have. Like Jaime Jaquez is literally a rookie, and in the third quarter, he was like, they were running the offense through him. And he was producing for them. And then it got me to think of just about like the team's the team ceiling. And like, I'm still a little worried about the Knicks, man. I'm still worried because like when they're in a funk, their ceiling goes from like whatever it is, and I feel like it drops immensely. And I feel like a Miami Heat, their ceiling isn't as high, but when they have their funk, it's not as low as what the Knicks go. So I don't know, man. That's something that caught my eye when I was watching the game.
I kind of agree, and I also think that's a coaching thing. I don't think it's a hot take to say that Tom Thibodeau is not the coach that Erik Spoelstra is. I think we saw that last playoffs. The Knicks were – the Miami Heat had the best player in the series in Jimmy Butler. When it comes down to who would you say is the best player in my opinion, Jalen Brunson had the best series statistically out of anyone on either team. But Tom Thibodeau got out-coached by Erik Spoelstra in that series. He also got out-coached tonight. And I know that the Knicks just had a 29-11 fourth quarter, but they had a 0-17 run get thrown on them to start the second half. And what that is that the Miami Heat are going into that halftime saying, all right, the Knicks are up 51-50 against us. We need to make adjustments so we can beat this team and know that it's not going to be a loss because it's a close game right now. We need to create some distance between the Knicks because we know they don't go anywhere effort-wise. We need to do something. We need to make adjustments. And clearly the Knicks were not ready to make counter adjustments. They went out there and got punched right in the mouth to start that half. And yeah, they adjusted at the fourth quarter mark. But the Knicks can't do that to a team that has a more explosive offense than the Miami Heat and isn't capable of having an 11-point fourth quarter like some of the best teams in the NBA, such as the Boston Celtics, who are in the Knicks division, or the Milwaukee Bucks, who are not only in the Knicks division, but also in their group for the in-season tournament.
What do you think about Coach Tibbs after this season? Like, I don't know if he's in a hot seat. Like, and it depends on how they finish. Like, if they get into the playoffs, how far they go into the playoffs. Like, I kind of want to ask you, what's your feeling just regarding Coach Tibbs' job?
It's one of those things where I think because he's signed through the 24-25 season, I don't exactly think he would get fired unless it was like a really, really disappointing end. Like, say the Knicks become a 3 seed and just play the 6 seed and get absolutely smoked. I think that could cost him his job. But outside of that, I think because the CAA connections, he's tight with Leon Rose and all them. Like, I think what we would more likely see is Tibbs play out his contract or will coach out his contract through the 2024-25 season. And then from there, I could see him he's getting older, like maybe move on into some front office advisory role, like maybe
Yeah.
ask Leon to do so, or maybe just on his own volition. Because I don't really think that he's going to be the coach that leads the Knicks to an NBA title.
No, me neither. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, it has to be like a first round exit or not even making the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's still early in the season. The jury is still out, honestly, to see how far these Knicks can go as far as like, are they gonna end as far as a 7th seed, 8th seed, or are they gonna end higher like they did last season? We don't know. We'll see. A really quick last thing before we wrap it up. Did you see what Jalen Brunson said in the post game interview with Cassidy?
I was watching Emmanuel Quickly's interview. That's my 2K guy. Had to just watch him. What's he say?
So Cassidy asks him, he's like, "Yo, what was like the spark that brought the team back from like that down 21?" And Jalen Brunson was like, he was like looking around, and he took a second, and then he honestly answered, and he was like, "Honestly, a fan looked at me dead in my eyes and said this is embarrassing because they were just completely playing like shit." And I was like, I kind of like that answer. I really like that answer of like, oh wow, like you took it to heart. And then again, he was part of the comeback along with the bench squad, the bench mob. So I don't know. That was like an interesting nugget. It gave me like a little peek into like how serious Jalen Brunson is as far as a gamer and his competitiveness. Like, yeah, man, they were getting fucking embarrassed in that third quarter. Like, it was really bad. They were throwing the ball all over the court, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I felt like we were like starting to fall into the old ropes of just like New York Knicks basketball, of just like turnovers and mistakes and all that shit. So
Yeah, no, I mean, that's honestly insane to hear. It's sort of a bummer in the sense of I wish it was something that Tibbs said or even someone on the Knicks.
yeah,
However, shout out to that fan for helping the New
facts.
York Knicks win. That we know that the Knicks fans are huge in that aspect. Obviously, we do not play for the New York Knicks, so we cannot feel the full effect. But just from the comments that we get, we could tell how much the Knicks fans do affect the Knicks and the success that they bring. So shout out to all of y'all watching the video. Leave your comments down below what you think, and Dariel, I'll let you take us out of here.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching this video. We're gonna wrap this up. So Chris, thanks for joining me on this video. And again, like Chris said, if you guys want to leave a comment, let us know what you thought about today's game. And also, don't forget to hit that subscription button. Make sure to get the subscription numbers out of here, straight to the moon, and we out of here, baby. We'll catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.